Fox Sports.
We are Fox Sports. We are San Diego.
Last night, Gorkys Hernandez gives the Giants the lead, an eventual 5-3 victory. That came in the 12th inning as this ballgame took 12 innings, better than 4 hours to play. Game one of the two-game series goes to the Giants. As we move to game two, Andrew McCutchen back in the lineup for the Giants this season against the Padres, hitting at .300 with 3 extra base hits, also 3 RBIs for Andrew McCutchen, the first time San Francisco Giant. Eric Hosmer rolling along, a 7-game hitting streak coming in, and during that time, 9 hits, a .346 batting average, and a .414 on-base percentage. Welcome inside the broadcast booth, everybody. I'm Don Orsillo, along with Mark Sweeney and Mark Grant. We welcome you to Padres baseball. The trade deadline has come and gone. We'll check in with Bob Scanlon in a little while to find out what has gone on in that time. But we start with you, Mark Sweeney. Last night, truly frustrating for the Padres in game one of the series.
Guys, as you know, when you play an extra inning game, you have to go out there and win it. It can be emotionally taxing if you do not. And you look at scenarios last night that came into this is you had Christian Villanueva coming up with that big RBI double that scored Eric Hosmer. This was important because it tied the ball game up and gave them an opportunity. You see Eric Hosmer scoring from first base. Now, this is the play that impacted it. Austin Hedges, whether it was his decision or a decision from the coaching staff to ask him to bunt, really came into play because you see Christian Villanueva hesitant about that. The bunt really wasn't very good, and then the strikeout to Carlos Asuaje. This was a scenario that the Padres have been losing games at times, and emotionally that can be taxing moving forward. But as we all know, the trading deadline, emotionally taxing as well, taking yourself into a game.
Well, the Padres trying to bounce back here today in game two of the series, and it's a tall task, Mark Grant, as they go up against a very good pitcher today in Derek Rodriguez.
Well, just because he's the son of a Hall of Famer, Ivan Rodriguez, there are no guarantees at the big league level. The kid's talented. He's a converted outfielder, and he is really honing his skills nicely on the hill. He's a 4-pitch mix. He's got low to mid-90s fastball, and he's not afraid. And the one thing, he's the typical second-generation big league son. He learned it from his dad. Doesn't get too high, doesn't get too low. This kid's got good stuff. He's one of the top rookies in Major League Baseball right now. And like Mark Sweeney said, they're really struggling with offensively. They need this kid in the rotation to pay dividends quickly.
Coming up, dealing with the pressures of dealing with the deadline. Bob Scanlon caught up with Andy Green on the clubhouse mood. The deadline has come and gone. We'll find out more next from Petco Park. Baseball brought to you by Petco, the pet company, and by Cadillac. Visit your San Diego Cadillac dealers today. Padres and Giants getting ready for the finale of this series, but first, let's send it down to field level and Bob Scanlon.
Thank you, Don. As of 5 minutes ago, the Major League Baseball non-waiver trade deadline officially closed. And as of right now, no Padres have made any moves to anywhere else. Despite all the rumors, several players were rumored to be going somewhere else, and that can obviously be very disconcerting to a clubhouse. So how do you deal with that? Andy Green explains.
3 years running, if I've experienced anything, it's that right now. Used to hearing about our guys and possible trades, and you just try to do your best you can to communicate with all of them. You communicate with them all every single day and give them as much information as you can, and sometimes there's not much information to give. Sometimes the information you guys put out might not be right. From my experience, never you, Dennis, don't worry. But they hear rumors all day, and those rumors can distract. But I think most of the guys who find themselves in those rumors possess the right amount of maturity to be able to handle it.
So usually there's some fallout 15 to 30 minutes after the official close of the deadline, but nothing again is expected to be moved by the San Diego Padres. Kirby Yates, Tyson Ross, Craig Stammen, the three main guys rumored to be going elsewhere, are still Padres. And as Andy said, those are veteran guys, have not been affected by this. Clayton Richard will look to stop the skid. It's been 6 in a row that the Padres have lost. They'll try to even the series against the Giants. Clayton Richard going up against Derek Rodriguez. Padres, Giants, coming up next right here on Fox Sports San Diego.
The weather report brought to you by your always sunny Honda dealers of San Diego County. 82 degrees, northwest breeze at 8 miles per hour, and the forecast partly cloudy for the remainder of the day. Don Orsillo, Mark Grant, and Mark Sweeney, along with Bob Scanlon, with you for the second and final game of this brief 2-game series, as the Padres looking to bounce back here in Game 2. Look at the Giants. Starting lineup, Andrew McCutcheon's in right field, Chase Darno at second base, Evan Longoria at third base, Nick Hundley doing the catching day game after the night game, Austin Slater at first base, Brandon Crawford the shortstop with Hunter Pence getting the start in left, Gorkys Hernandez, last night's hero for the Giants in center, and Derek Rodriguez, the pitcher, out of the 9th spot. Ready to work today is Clayton Richard with the first pitch of the ball game that's in there for strike one, and we're underway. Richard looking to bounce back here, coming in at a 7-10 mark for his 23rd appearance of the season. Center fielder Margot over towards left center for McCutcheon to pull. And he grounds one right side to Aswahe at second base for the first out of the day.
Well, the crafty left-hander, number 3, making his 23rd start. 34-year-old is a grounder guy. Play the grounder game. We just saw that. Limit the damage. How quickly, guys, this game can change for a position player, for a pitcher, because last time out he was perfect through his first 4, and then bang. And Clayton's the first one to tell you, I need to make adjustments, and let's see if he makes some adjustments today. And stays down in the zone, doesn't get hurt by elevating pitches.
One down for Chase Darno. A .282 average coming in for the former Padre. 3 homers and 7 runs batted in. He had a 3-run home run last night for the Giants in his return. Now lines out to the shortstop. Galvis makes the grab. 2 down.
Everyday Freddie out there at shortstop for San Diego. You got the Gold Glover Eric Hosmer over at first base. 105th start. Leads Major League Baseball at that position. Rest of the infield, Villanueva. Aswahe at second. Putting down the signs will be Austin Hedges. Myers in left, Margot in center, and Travis Jankowski will be in right.
2 down for Evan Longoria, third baseman. First year in a Giants uniform. Omar Sweeney just back from the Hall of Fame. That had to be a great deal of fun.
Yeah, an incredible moment. A lot of people to thank, but for Trevor Hoffman and what he went through, it was a phenomenal weekend.
Well, you did a great job.
Yes.
Got to hear from a great many people there, which was fun for us because we didn't get the chance to go.
You know what's unbelievable? He's easy to talk to about everyone else.
6-3 on the putout of Longoria. A 1-2-3 first inning for Clayton Richard. Padres coming up. We check out Andy Green starting 9 today, brought to you by your San Diego County Toyota dealers. Travis Jankowski at the top of the order and in right field today with Manuel Margot in center. Will Myers in left with Eric Hosmer in the cleanup spot at first base. Austin Hedges does the catching, catches again today. Freddie Galvis, the shortstop. Christian Villanueva at third base with Carlos Aswahe at second base. And Clayton Richard, the pitcher, out of the 9 spot. Eric Rodriguez on the mound today for the Giants. He's been great.
Really like what I saw when we saw him up at San Francisco. 4-pitch mix. Maintains a great mound presence out there, and he's one of the top rookies in the National League. Second among National League rookies in ERA, wins, opponent's batting average against. Knows how to pitch.
And ready to work to Travis Jankowski leading it off today for the Padres. And he grounds one up the middle. The shortstop Brandon Crawford throws out Jankowski, 1 away.
Time to look at the Giants defense, brought to you by Cadillac. And in left field is the focus. You see 0 errors in 116 innings. That's pretty good in left field by Hunter Pence. Gorkys Hernandez in center, Andrew McCutchen in right. Around the infield from left to right, Longoria, Crawford, Chase Darno, the former Padre, and Austin Slater, and also Nick Hundley, the former Padre, catching Derek Rodriguez.
1 down for Manuel Margot. Well, Margot had his 10-game hitting streak snapped here last night, so it's a 250 average, and that's out of the 2 spot. A little different spot for him in the order. Led off last night. Generally has been at the top or near the bottom, but batting second. Myers and Hosmer are reunited, 3-4 in the lineup today for Andy Green.
I think that breaking ball is going to be very important for Rodriguez today. See him landing it early in that count to Margot. If he's landing that, you're going to have to pick one or the other, the fastball or the curveball.
Shoots it foul into the Padres dugout, first base way. And let's take a look at the keys to the game, brought to you by your San Diego Honda dealers.
Well, guys, what do you think about these keys as they scatter in the Padre dugout? How about avoid the big inning? Giants had a big inning in the second last night, 3-run shot. But, you know, kudos to the offense trying to bounce back and the bullpen. And also, how about taking an early lead rather than trying to play catch up? Not good.
Strike 3. Margot strikes out looking. First K of the day for Derek Rodriguez. 2 down.
Well, the curveball's in the mind of Manuel Margot, and he hits him with a fastball down on the bottom part of the strike zone. Rodriguez has been so good with that command. He gives you different looks with that fastball.
2 down for Will Myers. 289 homers and 30 runs batted in for Will. Well, the Giants have won 7 of 12 games against the Padres in the season series. 5 of the last 6 meetings now. The Giants have been victorious. Strike in there, evens the count at 1-1. Giants have won back-to-back games after they lost 8 out of 10. Tough stretch that had put them 6.5 games back. The win last night, they're 5.5 games back of the Dodgers, and they're in kind of a tough spot whether they're in it or they're not.
Well, you think about the division, and for Bruce Bochy's team, might be the focus of the wild card.
Right.
And you didn't think that at the first half of the season in this division. Now this division's starting to gain some momentum.
It's just amazing with the injuries they've had in the rotation that they've maintained even a handful of games out of first place.
Myers shoots it foul off to the right out of play.
I think the mindset for a lot of these clubs is, do you have an ace? And the Giants do. You know what Madison Bumgarner can do. I think those are the guys that have to be consistent these last 2 months of the season.
Myers lifts it down the right field line. That also will go foul into the seats. The Giants 54 and 54, even 500 coming into today's action. And this guy has been a big help. 5-1 with a 2.75 earned run average coming in. His 10th start.
Now, Mike Pomeranz said on the pregame show, you shave that hair off and it looks exactly like his dad. It's really funny to see that. But that mound presence that Bob Scanlon talked about is evident.
Grounder up the middle from shallow center. The throw will be late. Myers beats it out. Crawford, by the time he gathered it, was astride on the outfield grass, kind of an off-balance throw, and Myers has got himself an infield hit.
I think I also saw Brandon Crawford. He backs up on this ball to play on a bigger hop. 1, 2, shin high, and then throwing on his heels, and Will Myers getting down that line. The big Clydesdale clippity clop. It's an infield knock.
So 2 down, runner at first, and it brings up Eric Hosmer. Padres first baseman, as the catcher Nick Hundley did a little housekeeping right in front of the home plate area, which looks pretty wet today. Now you got a guy in Clayton Richard out there getting a lot of ground balls.
Very moist out there in front of home plate.
Check on Myers at first base.
That'll deaden that ball off the bat if you get in the guy's kitchen. No big hops.
Hosmer to right field, and that's going to get down to the track of the wall. Myers headed around the bases, going to try and score from first base. Throw, Platewood will be late, and the Padres take a 1-0 lead. RBI double for Eric Hosmer. 1-0 San Diego.
How important was that infield single by Will Myers? When you hustle with 2 outs, you have an opportunity to not only have another big inning, but score a run. And Eric Hosmer, because of the outfield shift, really benefits from that. He pulls this down the line using his hands so nicely. And the location of this double really had a lot to do with Will Myers running around and easily scoring the first run for the Padres. That's that lead you talked about.
Well, the Padres scoring first here in the last of the first inning, and here's Austin Hedges. Strike over the outside corner. Hedges 237 to start the day. 6 homers, 19 runs batted in. 48th game that the Padres catcher has been in on the year. It's game 110 for the Padres as a team. In the last 6 games, Hedges 6 for his last 19, hitting at .316 with a .409 on base percentage in his last 6 games. Hosmer at second base, 2 down, a run in here in the bottom of the first inning. Popped up foul off to the right out of play. 2-2. Pitch of this first inning coming up for Derek Rodriguez. Popped up foul, out of play.
The other thing that's refreshing about Rodriguez is after talking to Mike Krukow of the Giants, he does such a good job concentrating pitch to pitch. If he has his back up against the wall, he does not let that affect him. I think that's maybe, the apple doesn't fall too far from the tree, right? I mean, his dad had that ability. That's why he was so successful and talented at the big league level. Heck, he's a Hall of Famer, right? But I think that's a quality for a young pitcher to have. A great quality to have.
Yeah, and it is. And in those conversations that his dad could have with him in executing certain pitches, know when to throw strikes, when to start the ball on the plate and work off. You're going to see that a lot today if he has his command.
And it goes to show you how good of an athlete he is. Converted outfielder. Hops up on the hill, and he's having success at the big league level his rookie season.
To center field, Gorkys Hernandez moves over to right center, but gets there shy of the track to make the catch. It ends the first inning. Eric Hosmer with a double to drive in Will Myers all the way from first base. Gives the Padres a 1-0 lead after 1 from Petco Park in San Diego. And most thought Chris Archer would be on the move, and he was indeed, going to the Pittsburgh Pirates. They get to Tyler Glasnow, Austin Meadows, and a player to be named later to the Tampa Bay Rays in the deal that sends Archer to the Pirates.
NL Central, interesting. We all know about the Cubs, the Brewers, the game out. 7 games out for the Pirates. Wild card 3.5. They acquire another starter who is controllable. They've got a good young staff there. Interesting move by the Buccos.
Yeah, I think you go out and get a veteran guy, and there was a lot of rumblings that the Padres were looking for that. You need an example in your staff, and I think Chris Archer will be that example for those younger hurlers in that starting rotation.
And yesterday they acquired Keone Kela.
Sinking liner caught on the backhand by Myers. 1 down.
So 1/5 for the rotation and a bullpen guy at the end for the Pirates.
There's the wild card scenarios you were talking about. Pittsburgh 3.5 back to begin the day.
I love the wild card. How about you guys?
I love it.
I do too. It gives you interest. Also, there could be some trades in August as well to impact that race.
So many different cities that are involved that wouldn't be at this stage of the year.
It's another division, right? It's great.
All looking for that one game.
That part's a little scary, though, isn't it?
Sure is. But as we've seen, that one game turns into world champions.
Absolutely.
And I think that is the aspect that I fall in love with.
Happened twice in that dugout, didn't it, for the Giants, right? Or was it 1 time or 2 times? I know it was 1 time because they beat the Pirates.
Yes.
That 1 year, and then they went on to win the whole thing.
That was the year Madison Bumgarner turned himself into a different level of pitcher.
Austin Slater batting here with 1 out in the 2nd inning.
That is probably one of the biggest hang rhythms in all of baseball. When you win, you're in a tough division, right? Let's say you win 198 games, and you get that wild card, and then you play that wild card and you lose. That's a big league hang rhythm, brother.
Got to win the division.
Yep.
So a grounded foul outside of third.
I think that's the mindset for all organizations. You're not shooting for the wild card, especially with 2 months left. And we've seen so many scenarios, and we know what Bruce Bochy can do for that scenario in a Giants uniform. They're going to have the toughest task because there's so many teams they have to jump. It comes down to pitching for the Giants.
Slater fouls it off to the right. Hanks tough here, 2-2. Well, the West hasn't exactly gone like I think any of us thought it really would. I mean, I think at least heading into the season, I feel like the Dodgers are going to kind of run away with the West again this year after their near World Series win last year. Not been the case. Just a half-game lead over the Diamondbacks today with, 2 months left to go.
Yeah, we know how talented the Dodgers are, and we've referenced that. But you wonder if they have enough bullpen help to get to Kenley Jansen. I think that still is a glaring weakness.
All 4. Down to first base goes Slater. First base runner to reach today for the Giants. Time now for our Valley View Casino trivia question.
Love it.
On this date in 2009, the Padres traded Jake Peavy to the Chicago White Sox. How many players did the Padres receive in that deal? Tweet us your answers by the end of the inning using hashtag Valley View Trivia.
That was that last minute deal. Right down to the last seconds even.
All I know is that 2009, really? How time just goes so quickly.
It's dog years.
It's incredible.
In the air to right field, Jankowski will make the catch shy of the track on the liner. Crawford retired. Good contact, but in the neighborhood of Travis Jankowski. 2 down. Slater still at first, and it brings up Hunter Pence. That's 219, the home run, 15 runs batted in. Came off the bench to pinch hit in last night's game, gets a start today. Clayton Richard coming in, taking a loss in 4 of his last 6 outings. A streak of 6 innings or more and 11 consecutive starts at one point. For the first, and back to the bag safely is Slater.
Yeah, I want to reiterate what we mentioned in our pregame show talking about Clayton Richard. He needs to pitch all over the strike zone. Darren Balsley said that's very, very important. But let's say he tries to go up and away. He needs to get it up and away. And Clayton knows that. He can't leave that 3 balls in the strike zone. He's got to go higher.
To first, and Hunter Pence is retired. Inning and a half done, 1-0 Padres.
The second inning, the Padres not making any trade moves today, but they did make a roster move. Eric Lauer, after revealing that he had forearm tightness after his outing yesterday, has been put on the 10-day disabled list. Now, the Padres are not particularly worried about it at this point. Lauer has said that he's had this before. It's gone away on its own, so not a whole lot of concern, but they are going to give him the rest. Called up Walker Lockett. He's going to work out of the bullpen for Andy Green at this point. Speculation as to who will fill in for Lauer's spot in the rotation. Maybe nobody because of the days off guy. Clayton Richard may just slide up and take Lauer's spot. We'll wait and see, but hopefully everything okay with that forearm, guys.
All right, thanks very much, Scan. Pitch in there for a strike. Lauer last night really only had one bad inning, the 3-run home run in that inning, a couple of base hits, and then the home run by d'Arnaud. Otherwise, pitched pretty well, just did not go very deeply, and had trouble kind of putting guys away. 101 pitches through 5 innings, so that kind of makes a little bit of sense now. You know about his health situation after the game.
Frustrating, one pitch, and I believe it was a pitch that d'Arnaud was looking for because he took that fastball in and turned on it. It seemed like last night Eric was trying to establish that fastball on the glove side to the righties, and then bang, 3-run shot.
So Lauer was scheduled to be the pitcher in the final game of the Cubs series at Wrigley Field, but that now could be Richard with the day off for tomorrow.
Pretty good pitch right there by Rodriguez. 94 up and away.
Payoff pitch. Galvis fouls it off to the left, stays alive. 10th major league start for Derek Rodriguez. Giants have won 7 of his first 9. 4-1 with a 2.91 ERA in 9 starts. And a walk, a leadoff walk for Freddie Galvis to begin things here in the second inning. It's time now for the tools of the trade, brought to you by Ram Trucks.
Well, we talked about the 4-pitch mix for Derek Rodriguez, but 2 strikes. He likes to elevate the fastball. Seems like the common theme throughout Major League Baseball with launch angle, home runs, and strikeouts. After dropping the curveball, Mark Sweeney was talking about just a little bit ago. You get that over for a strike early, he can bounce that and he go up with the good fastball. It looks like a big old fat pitch. Before you know it, it's up and out of the zone. And there's the usage of his toolbox right there.
Look out. Christian Villanueva almost ducked into that pitch. StatCast. Let's take a look at the StatCast AI powered by AWS. Back to the mound to second for one. On to first for two. Double play. Right back at Rodriguez, and he starts the DP.
You know, you can tell a lot from a pitcher being a good athlete as he, first of all, fields it, and then secondly, kind of, you know, throwing uphill on that mound and firing a strike to second base to turn the double play.
Cue in the best athletes of the on the field.
Believe it, right there. You're looking at him.
2 down here in the second. It brings up Carlos Suárez.
Are we going to break that down again?
Well, he was a converted outfielder. Now he's on the mound. Pretty good athlete, in my opinion. Just saying.
Like you said, converted.
He was a really good athlete when he was in the outfield, and now they made him a pitcher. This one will miss down and in.
Strong arm.
Yeah. I enjoy this. I love when this happens.
I just think it's a very interesting conversation.
Says the former position player to the pitcher.
Here's my reasoning behind this.
Yes.
Okay.
You could stick Derek Rodriguez right now out in the outfield, and he would not embarrass himself at all.
He's done it before.
Yep.
That's right.
Yeah.
Now you stick some position player out on the mound trying to throw some pitches, and
We've seen anybody
Okay,
can do
how
that
about,
too.
how about sticking Madison Bumgarner in the outfield? Let's say center field.
I'm sure he'd do just fine.
It's out of left field line into the seats.
He caught a lot of passes over the middle, having to deal with D-backs at college, and he took his licks. And you know what? He's a great athlete.
I will even admit it's not as easy as it looks. I think it's really hard to just take over in center field.
I made a career.
I never
of
said it
making
was
things
easy.
Look hard.
I never said it was easy.
2-2 pitch. Outside, full count down to Suárez.
And you know what else I realize? I realize this is an argument I'm not going to win, but it's the way I feel. So,
And we feel the opposite.
Yes.
right, and I respect that.
I respect your thinking, but it's wrong.
To short on a hop to Crawford. That'll end the inning. 2 done, 1-0 Padres. Well, how about Jose Ramirez? Not 1 but 2 home runs against the Minnesota Twins. Ended up being a loss, though, for the Indians. But for those 2 home runs, he's now tied with J.D. Martinez of the Red Sox for the most home runs with 32. And the Twins did win that game 5-4. As we play along here to the top of the 3rd inning, Gorkys Hernandez, the Giants hero from last night, who homered in the top half of the 12th inning, leads it off here in the top of the 3rd inning for the day game. Hernandez last night started in left, gets the start in center today. Home run, incidentally, his 13th of the year. Getting it on Matt Strom in last night's victory for the Giants. 268, the 13 home runs we mentioned, 32 RBIs for Hernandez. Richard with a good start here, first time through. Of course, he was perfect first time through in his last outing, but then ended up allowing 6 runs as it turned out, lasting just 5 innings in that last outing. So things were great first time through. Misses here. Second walk allowed by Richard. Well, everybody looking for relief help, no doubt, trying to better your bullpen down the stretch, and these are some of the bigger moves, and of course one of them involving the San Diego Padres. Brad Hand going to the Cleveland Indians, but Roberto Osuna, Zach Britton, Familia, and Ziegler back again to the Diamondbacks. How about that?
And the value of relievers we have seen the last few years have skyrocketed, where these starters, you go 5 or 6, you've done your job, turn it over to the pen, and it's almost, and I'm not saying anything new to you guys because you know as well as anybody, it's almost as if you come into a crunch time, if you're a reliever, you're the stopper in that 6th inning. And then you bridge the gap to your closer in the 9th. So it's essentially having 2 guys who can stop.
Yeah, that whole phrase of shortening the game has a lot of relevance. And you look at the New York Yankees, for example, very good bullpen. They go out and get Zach Britton. And whether he's a rental or not, you understand you have certain opportunities to get to that World Series ranks. You have to take that shot, and I think a lot of teams, that's their mindset of adding to the relief corps.
I just heard the Yankees signed Rich Gossage. He's going to be in the bullpen as well. It's unbelievable how they've just done that. You know, it's they can essentially start. They could start a starter, and then they could have 8 guys finish the game.
Well, Hosmer picks this up, fires to first base. Rodriguez with a sacrifice. So to go 3-4 on the put out at first. It's Gorkis Hernandez in a scoring position to second base.
And of course, the Yankees have the wherewithal to do all that, those moves.
Well, the other thing is a short series. You get the short leash for your starters. Things don't go well initially. You get into that bullpen if you're deep enough. Win at any cost. You look at the teams that have won in the last several years, they've all had incredibly strong bullpens. 1 out runner at second, and Hernandez top of the order. Andrew McCutchen, second time through the order now for Clayton Richard. Richard losing his last 2 starts after the break. The Mets and Phillies. 13 earned runs and 8 innings of work. Not alone, though, in struggling. The Padres pitchers are 5-19 with a 5.59 earned run average in the month of July. This has really been a tough month for the Padres, to say the least.
You think when it's coupled with offensive struggles, you're not pitching on the mound, very difficult. And you made a good point at the beginning of the game, Mark, about playing ahead. It's a different ball game when you can start scripting out that. Very difficult when you have both elements, the pitching and the offense, coinciding with where you have some struggles.
I mean, let's face it. Padres starters have a 5.09 ERA. That's 14th in the National League. They set the tone. You look at the successful teams in the race. You've got a pretty solid rotation, getting them towards the second half of a ball game, the 5th, 6th inning, and beyond.
Strike 2. Andrew McCutchen grounded out to second base in his first plate appearance. Bluff off the backside, spiraling was Richard, but no throw. Hutchins 7 for 15 with 2 home runs in his career against Clayton Richard. He had left Sunday's game after fouling ball off his foot, but was back in the lineup last night for the Giants and is today as well. There's this one foul towards the end of the Giants dugout. They're housed on the third base side.
Now, guys, you look at Clayton Richards' body of work, including today's 5+ starts, 22 walks. And that's interesting because he's not accustomed to do that. Last year, you go back to all those ground ball double plays, ground ball outs. Those double plays played a huge factor in that.
Line foul.
Yeah, he was so locked in last year. My goodness, from pitch one. And if in fact he did walk somebody or multiple base runners more, he would be locked in to get that ground ball, get that double play.
Gets away, but not far enough.
Had a little chat with Darren Balza before the game, and I said, is there anything I should look for with Clayton Richard, mechanically or otherwise? He said no. He just needs to pitch effectively down in the zone. That's his bread and butter. If he's going to go up and out of the zone, make sure it gets up and out of the zone. Arm slot is the same. Stride is the same. Position on the rubber is the same.
Eighth pitch of the at-bat coming up here for Andrew McCutchen. Pretty good battle. And he loses McCutchen. Second walk of the inning allowed by Clayton Richard. Third walk of his outing. It's time now to answer our Valley View Casino trivia question. On this date, 2009, the Padres traded Jake Peavy to the Chicago White Sox. How many players did the Padres receive in that deal? 4, and Clayton was one of them.
I remember the big name that, other than Clayton, was that Aaron Pareda kid. I remember there were some high hopes for him. He was one of the names that the Padres were really hoping. The other two really couldn't tell you much about. I'm sure they're good kids.
Pitch down and in to Chase Darno. As Darno last night with a 3-run home run, today lined out sharply to short in his first at bat. Boston, Atlanta, and San Diego for Darno in the big leagues last year. It's a fly ball to right field, struck pretty well. Dankowski back on the track, and he makes the catch against the wall. Tagging and moving to third is Hernandez on the long fly out for Chase Darno.
Timed it perfectly, it looks like. I'm checking the flags right now. Not a factor, I would have to say, as Travis eyes it perfectly, leaps as soon as that ball hits the glove. Seems like he hits the wall. Catch it, squeeze it, stay on it. Hello, wall. Big second out for Clayton Richard.
First and third now, 2 down, and it brings up Evan Longoria, the veteran. Grounded out to shortstop in the first, 0 for 1. And some dancing down the third base line is Gorkys Hernandez.
Speed on the corners. Hernandez, as you touched on, but also McCutchen. Possibility of a stolen base in this situation.
On a strike to Longoria. Pitch 40 of the day for Clayton Richard coming up here. And a bluff by Hedges. That grabs the attention of Hernandez, who goes darting back to the bag at third.
Yeah, interesting move by Hedges, because that'll shorten up the lead of Gorkys Hernandez. Even that look that he possibly will throw down to third.
Longoria missing 34 games this year with a broken left hand. Hit by a pitch. Dan Straley of the Marlins hit him on June 14th. And stated on July the 26th. Big cut there, full count.
Hitters count 3-1. Went with the slider.
Grounded foul. Do it again. 3-2. Another slider from Clayton Richard.
Not really the best ball strike ratio, but I've said it many times. I think that's overrated. Look at the scoreboard. He's leading by 1.
Swing and a miss, and down to a knee goes Longoria, who strikes out. First K. Going to come at a better time for Richard. 1-0 Padres. Getting a power hitting second baseman from the Minnesota Twins, Brian Dozier. 16 home runs on the year, 52 RBIs. And Logan Forsythe, the former Padre, on the move again from the Dodgers to the Twins, along with Luke Raleigh and Devin Smeltzer as part of that deal for Brian Dozier. So the Dodgers bettering themselves. Now they got Machado and Dozier.
Pump up the volume on the offense, huh?
Wow. So they get stronger, no doubt.
I think the Justin Turner injury and him starting on the DL, and if he is going to be the same as he was last year, had a factor in adding to that offense. Obviously, Machado's that key piece, but Dozier's that guy, the grinder, that also can hit the ball out of the ballpark.
'40th pitch of the game coming up for Derek Rodriguez. Allowed a first inning run on an RBI double by Eric Hosmer. Richard batting for the first time today, and down on the count, 1-2. Chase the high fastball. Tenth season in the big leagues for Clayton Richard. 116 average.
With the trophy take.
Huh.
Richard 4 for 35 at the plate this year. Hitting at 114 coming in. Let's have a home run. Strikes out this time. Second strikeout for Derek Rodriguez. But Bryce Harper staying in Washington, not going anywhere. Surprised?
Well, the general manager, Mike Rizzo, said, listen, I still believe in this club. They have underachieved. You look at that roster, it's an all-star roster. They've dealt with some injuries. Who hasn't? But Bryce Harper staying there, and also the ability to possibly sign him back. I think a lot of people assume he's going to go elsewhere. But that's surprising that he stays because they could have had a huge haul. I think this club is really underachieved.
Absolutely. I think a lot of people picked them to win the division. I picked them, of course.
I didn't pick Philadelphia or Atlanta for that matter, and they're in the top 2 spots.
I would have lost that bet.
They did make a trade. Brandon Kinsler ends up going, but that's not an impact move.
Nationals lost 10 of their last 17 games.
Second time through the order now for Rodriguez as Jankowski jumps ahead in the count, 3-1.
There's been some rumblings and there's been some articles written about there's kind of a weird dynamic in the clubhouse. You know something is up, and obviously not being in that clubhouse, you can't really respond to problems or foreseen problems. But there's some articles written, and you wonder, with that talent, with the ability that they have in the pitching staff, and having Max Scherzer leading that staff and not having the ability to be better.
A fair ball. That'll bounce off the box seats and head to Hunter Pence. But heading to second base with a 1-out double goes Travis Jankowski. Third Padres hit of the day. Right inside the bag down there at third base.
Elevated fastball, we touched on it, how it struggles with the opposition. Well, Travis Jankowski does a nice job. Watch how he gets the barrel on top. Very good fighting his hands on top for that double the other way, just inside the bag. With speed on second base to add to the lead of the Padres.
50th pitch of the day coming up for Derek Rodriguez. Manuel Margot gets a second look at Rodriguez. Pops up a bunt, and it's caught by Nick Hundley. 2 down.
I want him swinging there. I want to try to drive that run in, split a gap, maybe run into one.
Oh, this is on his own. Not a very good decision. And you're right, Mark. You want the ability to be aggressive in that situation. You have a lead. Add on to that lead.
Well, 2 down. Jankowski at second base, and it brings up Will Myers. His infield hit set the table for the Padres' first run. Around to score the game's only run in the first inning.
There's that show me curveball Mark was talking about earlier. Early in the count for a strike, he can bounce it, he can bury it when there's 2 strikes.
Fouls it off, and it's 1-2. Rodriguez has allowed 2 runs or fewer in each of his last 5 starts. In those 5 starts, the Giants started with a 1.67 earned run average. Today's only given up 1 so far, but the Padres are threatening here in the last of the third inning with Jankowski at second and 2 down. Swing and a miss, and Myers strikes out, and Rodriguez out of the jam. Through 3, 1-0 Padres. San Diego. Beautiful day today in San Diego. Day baseball. Padres and Giants meeting for the final game of the homestand for the Padres and the last game of this series. Play along to the 4th inning. Clayton Richard going second time through the Giants order. Nick Hundley, the former Padre, to lead it off here in the 4th inning.
Hey, big test road trip coming up, wouldn't you agree? The Windy City, the Cubs.
Two really good teams.
And then to America's Dairyland with the Milwaukee Brewers, who are playing well.
Get to go on the Fister. You guys stay at the Fister?
Yes.
Do you like it or dislike it?
I like the Fister.
I like the Fister.
I do too.
Yeah.
If you do you
Old
stay
school.
on the old side?
Of course.
Because there's a renovated side and a old school side.
It's haunted.
I've never seen anything. I've heard that, but I've waited for the guy. I've waited up at night sometimes. And
I've invited him.
never showed up.
That doesn't freak you out?
No. No, there are several other hotels
That
have
freak
had
you out?
issues. Yes. There's one in Louisville that I will never forget. The Executive Suites in Louisville.
I do.
Yeah.
I remember that.
That was haunted.
What happened?
Still to this day kind of bothers me a little bit. Okay, so you know how an ironing board is on a hook usually?
Yeah.
And it's just like on the hook.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm not kidding about this. I am very serious. Ironing board went up, hit, and opened.
In your room.
Opened in my room while I was sitting in a chair. So I decided that I would try to recreate it, you know, like science, to debunk the entire thing and say this did not happen.
Mythbusters.
Yes. So I went over and did it like 5 times. This is to left, and back goes the left fielder Myers to make the catch for the first out of the inning. Second time he's lined out to Myers. So I tried to do it like 3 more times where I walk over and just drop it, and every time it just fell on the floor.
Couldn't happen.
No.
So how'd that make your the rest of your sleep?
I was a little slept with the lights on, you know.
Why?
But I wasn't crazy about it.
I
So,
ask you this:
that was
when you woke
AAA.
up the next morning, were all your shirts nicely ironed in your closet? That would have been awesome.
That's the friendly ghost.
I
That's
had another
Casper.
one. I had another one in the minor leagues where my TV would go on and then the channels would change and the volume would go up and down. But it turns out the walls were just so thin. It was the guy next door who was doing on his TV.
That's
That's how
funny.
bad the hotel was.
Man, and you kept
So-
on seeing movies ordered.
I'm like, what is going on? The volume would go up. I'm like, I didn't change the channel. I want to watch this. You know.
Yeah, movie bill $20.99.
Yeah. So anyway, the hotel in Tampa, that one has been talked about for years.
The
Many
Vinoy?
players-
Vinoy.
Many players have said they've had things happen there. A
Is
gentleman from the 1920s, apparently.
Is he friendly?
No, not so much.
Well, that's what freaks me out.
Yeah.
Well, when I was in a Giants uniform, we had a guy that was a rookie that struggled with ghosts, and he heard about going to the Fister. So we felt like we wanted to stage some
no.
things.
Paranormal activity created. Lined in the center for Slater.
So how we played it off is we get our ticket, your packets that have your room keys. Well, we gave him the wrong room key. He goes in, tries to get into his room, he can't get in, so he has to go back down. That's when we got him. So we get in, we have the room key, and we staged alarm clocks all over the room. And we put one behind the drawer that went off at different times.
That's awesome.
So we saw him at the field the next day, and he did not feel comfortable.
It's so good.
His name was Freddie Lewis, and what a great sport afterwards. But we had to do it. It's one of those
That's great.
hazing moments that you just got to have.
The guy in Tampa apparently is in like a top hat. Like he is, formally dressed for a 1920 event. Which drops in there for a strike.
That would freak me out.
Yeah, that's something. Sharing your room with
Would Fred freak out Freddie Lewis too? Especially if he had an alarm clock in his hands.
up the middle, find its way into center field. Brandon Crawford. A single as Slater takes second, 2 on here with 1 away. Well, the Giants didn't have a hit until coming in here to the 4th. They pieced together back-to-back base hits here with 1 down.
Looks like Clayton Richard, good field position, and this one just eludes his glove. One hopper right over the top of it. Looks like maybe got even a piece of his glove there. Oh, yeah, got the webbing.
2 on, 1 down. Hunter Pence coming up. Grounded back to the mound in the second inning. 0 for 1 today. Left side, deep short. Galvis will go to second just in time. So the Giants are going to challenge this. It was a bang play at second base. Right now the call on the field is out on the force out.
Well, unbelievable things we see from Freddie Galvis, but going to his right and putting him in a position to even make an attempt to get this out. Watch how he goes to his right, but then he gets into that slide, easily getting on that right foot. His only opportunity to get an out.
Giants,
this is pretty close.
Giants are going to challenge. And it does look from that look that he beat it. So we'll see if this is going to get overturned. Call on the field was out.
Yeah, I got safe at second base. What do you guys got?
Safe.
I got safe. And that was quick. He is indeed safe. Call overturned. Base is now loaded with 1 down. So the base is filled with Giants. 1 down here in the 4th inning. It brings up Gorkys Hernandez. Fly ball now towards right center field. Margot and Jankowski. Jankowski makes the catch. Tagging, heading homeward is Slater. Throw to third, off the mark. And 2 more runners move up, but the Giants have tied the score 1-1 on the sac fly for Gorkys Hernandez.
Hernandez did a nice job last night with the 1 swing of the bat. Tie game, and he elevates this one to the outfield. Not coming out of his shoes, a pitch to where he could just take the opposite way for the easy fly ball and the sac fly.
So second and third now with 2 down, and here is the pitcher. Derek Rodriguez laid down a sacrifice bunt in the 3rd inning. Now swinging away, carves it foul off to the right.
Now the former outfielder, you know he can swing the bat. Athletic on the mound, obviously looks athletic in the batter's box.
Little dribbler in front of the plate. Hedges jumps out there. His throw to first is in time. And that will end the inning. But a run for the Giants, who tie the score 1-1 after 3.5. Eric Hosmer with 2 outs, able to drive this to right field and score. Will Myers all the way from first base gives the Padres their run today. A 1-0 advantage. Giants have since tied it up with a run of their own in the top of the 4th inning. Padres coming up in the bottom of the 4th inning. Eric Hosmer, Austin Hedges, and Freddie Galvis will be batting here in the inning for the Padres.
Back-to-back multi-hit games for Eric Hosmer. The consistency has to be there for this offense to get back on track, in my opinion.
He comes in with a 7-game hitting streak. Makes his way to the dish here to face Derek Rodriguez for the 2nd time today. Hosmer, Hedges, and Galvis. First double, one of 3 hits today. Both teams with 3 hits, and now both teams with 1 run. Neither has made a miscue in this game. This will be pitch number 55 of the afternoon for Derek Rodriguez. Pretty cool for Bruce Bochy to have made his way to Cooperstown to be there for Trevor Hoffman.
Yeah, 2 managers, also Paul Molitor, and I think unprecedented, which was in the speech for Trevor Hoffman. And talked to Boch about that, and he said, you know what, there was no way I was going to miss it. And credit the organization for allowing him to do that.
To left field. Hunter Pence coming in towards the line, running on a slant, makes the catch for the 1st out. It's time for the Kia Drive to Success for Derek Rodriguez. Lowest DRA since June the 10th at 2.11 earned run average. Minimum of 7 starts from Frankie, Kershaw, and Nola. The top 5.
He's putting up numbers to possibly be rookie pitcher of the year. A lot of categories. He's in the top 3, top 5. Mark Sweeney, I wanted to ask you, Cooperstown was a great experience. I'm sure that goes without being said, but was there one certain moment that sticks out to you other than the being around Trevor and the whole festivities? And then I have a part 2 to that question.
I think the moment was when he got announced officially. Obviously you know he's going to have that speech. Everyone that's been around Trevor knows that that speech is going to have meaning and have impact. But really, when he was holding that plaque, it got real. That's for cool. A lot of us. And his speech touched everyone. I loved what he said. And I'll tell you this, guys, there was a lot of things that you were proud of.
2 down to the inning.
And the reason why I say this, and there's a lot of thanks that have to go out and to the organization, the Padre organization, did a phenomenal job. There were a couple parties, and I want to say thanks to a lot of people because it was an impact of what they did. Wayne Partello, Katie Jackson, Eric Meyer, unbelievable. But what you think of it, the Petco Park event group, Jacqueline, Stephanie, and Paula, they knocked it out of the park because not only was it impactful, but there was a lot of people, including Trevor Hoffman, that were blown away of how seamless everything was in Cooperstown. And a lot of thanks has to go out to them. Obviously, Ron Fowler, Peter, and Tom Seidler, thank you. Because as a former Padre employee and a Padre player, but also being able to be there for Trevor, they opened arms and made it a huge outing. I know Trevor was very thankful as well.
Second part to my question, who was the one Hall of Famer that when you saw you were like, wow?
You know, when I had him as a hitting coach, it was a wow moment, but it was also what he's gone through with a heart procedure, and it was Rod Carew. Because Rod Carew went through a heart, he said, you know what, Sweens, I died 3 times, and now I have a new heart, a new lease on life. But it was the impact that you had. And
down to first off the bat of Galvis. Slater will take it himself to the bag. 1, 2, 3, 4th. Game tied 1-1 after 4. From Travis Jankowski, the defense has been stellar for him, and really the distance that he covers pretty amazing.
And you think about the distance too, going to his left, having the ability, the awareness of where he is on the field. Today, at the top of the third, he's playing deep, but he has the awareness around the wall, feels the track, and makes a nice play.
Going to be tested again here, back to right field, and that ball is going to be gone up over his head and out of the yard. Andrew McCutcheon takes it the opposite way out of the yard for his 11th home run, and it's 2-1 San Francisco.
First pitch, hacking. Boy, off the plate too a little bit. And Mark, I know that's something you can appreciate when that's the perfect example of Andrew McCutcheon taking the ball exactly. Great effort by Travis, but taking that pitch exactly where it was pitched and hitting it with authority the opposite way, not trying to pull it.
Now a liner down the left field line, a fair ball off the bat of Darno. In the left field corner, Myers will dig it out, but not before Darno. Down second. So a home run and a double. Giants coming out here swinging the bats. Third time through the lineup.
Al Darno had the 3-run homer last night. That pull side, remember, in his first at bat, lined to shortstop. Seeing the ball well off of Clayton Richard.
So Darno at second base, a run in, and Evan Longoria coming up. Longoria has grounded out to short and struck out swinging. 0 for 2 on the day for the Giants third baseman.
Punched him out on a slider the last time. Starts him off with another slider. This is when a veteran hitter will start making those adjustments, in-game adjustments, and look for that slider.
Down the left field line towards the corner, and it's going to be a foul ball. Not much foul ground down there, but Longoria finds it. Richard trying to grab his bearings. Last time I remember, through 4 innings, he was perfect. And the 5th inning is where he ran into trouble and was chased after allowing 6 runs. This one fouled off to the right end into the seats. Home run and a double to start the 5th inning for the Giants. Line and caught by Galvis, trying to turn it into 2, and it's just late. Darno got back. Covering was Aswahe at second base, tried the double play. Longoria lines out for the first out of the 5th inning.
Boy, at first I thought it was closer than that, but clearly safe back in the bag is Darnell. Sure is fun to watch, isn't he, guys? Freddie Galvis.
Sure is. One down, runner at second, and Nick Hundley. Hundley 0 for 2 is lined out to left on 2 occasions, hitting the ball sharply, but right at Will Myers in left.
So hang with him.
Pickoff play at second on the throw, but back in time safely is Darno. As Aswahe cheated in from second base. To short and picked by Galvis. He'll go to third. Now they got Darno hung up. Villanueva runs him back. Now Aswahe to Richard. The tag there. He was hung up long enough to get the runner to second base in Hundley. That's all you can hope for there after a spectacular pick at shortstop by Galvis.
This is unbelievable. Freddie going to his right. Now he throws to the lead base and try to run it back, right? In my opinion, too many throws. Got a snowball fight going on here in between third and second. But the pick is unbelievable. It's gotten to the point now where it's like, oh, okay, ho-hum. Freddie Galvis stopped another one. Stay hot, Freddie. Stay hot, Freddie's the name of my new band.
2 down, Hundley at second base, and brings up Austin Slater.
A lot of band names.
Yeah, well, I got to get rid of the old T-shirts and order new ones now.
This band stinks.
Dry fits?
Yeah, it was 463 Yo was my last band. Get rid of those tees. Now order some new ones.
You say his band stinks. That's what I said.
You heard me. Pitch is outside for ball 1.
I gotta agree. Your band stinks.
They need a new manager. He plays the triangle and cowbell. That's his contribution to the, yeah.
You guys should call it Milli Vanilli with lip sync.
On the ground towards short, Galvis plays a soft hop. And that will end the inning, but the Giants on a leadoff home run by McCutchen and taking a 2-1 lead. Petco presents Padres Baseball, brought to you by Petco, the pet company. By SeaWorld, Manta is today's word of the game. Head to foxsportssandiego.com and click Ways to Win for your chance to win a SeaWorld Family 4-pack. And by Sequan Casino, opening in 2019 is Sequan's brand new 300-room resort and hotel. We play along to the home half of the 5th inning. Christian Villanueva leading it off for the Padres. A 2-1 Giants lead thanks to the home run by Andrew McCutchen. Difference in this one. Villanueva, his first time up, bounced into a 1-6-3 double play. Initiated by Derek Rodriguez. Now has his first lead with which to work. Beautiful day in San Diego. Said that a few times.
I remember when I got traded over here in 1987, Deacon Jones was our hitting coach. And every day around the cage, he would be leaning up against the cage and there'd be a pause. Nobody would be saying anything. He'd go, "Another horrible day here in San Diego." And it just made you realize how fortunate we were being where we're at.
It really is incredible.
Oh,
I think that's a common theme. Everyone that comes in, especially from the Midwest.
Leadoff walk here for Villanueva. Another deal for the Brew Crew getting stronger. They have added Jonathan Scope coming over from the Orioles. And Jonathan VR going the other way. Jake Carmona, Luis Ortiz, but Scope, who's a very good second baseman, going Going to the Milwaukee Brewers. Two more additions for the Brew Crew.
Yeah, you know, and the first thing I think about, I think Baltimore and Milwaukee, good hitting yards. Scopes shouldn't miss a beat, right? As far as hitting ball out of the ballpark, especially in that division in the NL Central.
Yeah, it might be adjustment moving leagues, you know, because usually you see that. He struggled mightily at the beginning of the year, and now he is hitting as well as he's done all year. So that's an added bat.
I've always liked him.
I have too. Mike Moustakas also over there.
Well, we will see them on this next road trip. 4 with the Cubs. And 3 with the Milwaukee Brewers as part of this road trip for the Padres coming up. It always seems to be the same trip. Chicago and Milwaukee. I guess the proximity geographically part of that. But
quick drive up there.
Yep.
Is that an hour and a half?
Up to 94.
Yeah.
On the ground right side, diving is Darno from his knees. Throws to first base in time to get a Suaje. That's being away to second base though. Very productive out of nothing else. 1 down here in the 5th inning.
Good job going to his left. Chase Darno from his knee. Plenty of time. Gets a Suaje by about 4 strides.
Well, pinch hitter coming up here for the starting pitcher today, Clayton Richard. It'll be Corey Spangenberg coming up. Richard's spot in the order due, and that'll be the day for Clayton. Jordan Lyles warming in the Padres pen. So for Clayton, 5 innings, total of 5 hits, 2 runs, including the home run by McCutcheon. He would walk 3 and strike out 1 through 72 pitches in 5 innings today. Hit 4 by Corey Spangenberg in the 5th inning. Strike 1 to Spangenberg. Strike 2. And a pitch down and in that had Nick Hundley sprawling. 0-2.
Back-to-back breaking balls to the pinch hitter Spangenberg.
And if he's going to throw him a fastball, Mark, don't you think it's going to be one of those up and out of the zone? Not for a strike, right?
Doesn't need to now.
Yep.
Swing and a miss. Elevates the fastball at 93 and gets Spangenberg to chase. Strikeout number 4 of the day for Derek Rodriguez.
We talked about this with our tools of the trade. High fastball from Rodriguez. There it is. You see the spin, 4-seam fastball up above the letters. Can't get the barrel on top of it. Tough to square up. Punch out.
Travis Jankowski 1 for 2, a double his last time up. Well, the Padres today with runners in scoring position 0 for 4, but in the series 0 for 13.
Ouch, bad.
That's some timely hitting right now. And the runner at second and 2 down. Jankowski to right, McCutcheon to his right, makes the catch below the cap high, that ends the 5th. 2-1, Giants on top.
Padres as we head to the 6th inning. Clayton Richard started off nicely. Had a 1-2-3 first inning, but as you can see here, as the game went on, just too many mistakes that are getting too much of the plate. When Clayton Richard is going well, he's working down at the knees, staying on the corners. But as you can see with all of these hits, the fastball going down the middle, it wasn't that he had terrible control today, guys, but there were certain opportunities where he had to get out of the big inning, was not able to make that pitch that he needed to, caught too much of the plate, and unfortunately has to leave this game at 71 pitches. Maybe on another day when Andy's seeing him making his pitches a little bit more consistently, he allows him to hit in that situation, but he had to pinch hit, and the Padres are into the bullpen, guys.
Yeah, one of the aspects of being in the National League, really, in that situation, got a guy at second base, and his spot comes up, it kind of forces the issue a little bit more than it would in the American League.
Got to go to that bench, and that's why, as a starter, like Bob said, it's 1 or 2 pitches that could be the difference. Clayton Richard, we've seen him hit the ball, but in that situation, it might be the only time you get it, right?
Absolutely, and here is Jordan Lyles into the game here to start the 6th inning.
Came off the deal on Sunday. Right elbow inflammation for Jordan Lyles.
Fly ball foul off to the left out of play.
Let's keep an eye on the velocity from Jordan Lyles. 94, 95, pounding that strike zone. The first 9 games of the season, pitched really, really well. Hitters hitting around 150. Nice.
Swing and a miss, and Brandon Crawford strikes out. So Lyles strikes out the first Giant that he faces today. One down here in the top of the 6th inning.
Well, last time out for Jordan was against the Arizona Diamondbacks. That was back on Sunday. He struck out 3, and he strikes out the first batter he faced here.
One down for Hunter Pence. He's grounded back to the mound and single. Pence came off the bench last night to pinch hit. It's a start today in left field for Bruce Bochy. To short, and Galvis plays the high hop. Throw off the mark, but Hosmer, nice footwork at first base for out number 2. Former Padre Cameron Maben on the move, acquired by the Mariners. 3 home runs, 20 RBIs this year, 251 batting average, with Bryson Brigman going with some international cash to Miami.
The Seattle Mariners have made it interesting. They're right on the heels of the Houston Astros. I still think there's a big separation when you think of the starting rotations of both of those clubs.
8th club and 2 times with Detroit for Cameron Maben. He was a Padre back in 2011 through 2014 before being in that Atlanta deal.
Lyles inducing a strikeout and a ground out here to the first 2 Giants he's faced in the 6th inning. And 1-1 pitch coming to Gorkys Hernandez. To center, and Manuel Margot will have room. A 1-2-3 6th inning. Padres coming up, trailing 2-1. For the bottom of the 6th inning, Padres after the ball game will be headed to Chicago to take on the Cubs. Only visit of the year to Wrigley Field. 4-game series. Just saw Javier Baez here and how incredible he was in that series against the Padres. Jason Hayward against the Padres with some big numbers. And John Lester versus the NL West this season, 3-0 with an ERA under 2 at 1.86. That gets started on Thursday. Spend the off day tomorrow in Chicago for the 4-game series.
And a tough venue to win at. The friendly confines are just that for the Cubs. 33-19 going into today.
Manuel Margot pops it up shallow right. Darno. A few strides on the outfield grass. 1 down.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the San Diego Padres and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the San Diego Padres.
1 out in the 6th inning for Will Myers. A single in the first, a strikeout in the 3rd, went swinging. Myers now, Hosmer next. Padres trailing by a run as they bat here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Deep 3rd, but foul.
You know, another troubling thing in Chicago is they have that place near the ballpark that has that big slice of pizza.
Yes. Well, I don't think it's troubling. I think it's good.
It's really good,
You
but
and I
it's
had
troubling. We ordered it, and this is when you were off, and we had that double header, split double
I
header.
remember that.
Enormous.
It was like they positioned it. They should have said it was like a 14-inch. The slice.
I mean, I ordered 2, and of course I ate it all.
Shocker.
But I had no idea it was going to be that big, though.
That'll set you back a couple weeks.
Was it good though? Was it good pizza?
Oh,
It's really good.
Really good. It is right there by Wrigley's, right by where the bus is. So kind of like, I guess would be the first base side.
Yeah.
I asked the table next to me to hold the slice. You know how you have to position it where you have to hold it? I asked the table next to us.
Swing and a miss, and Myers strikes out, 2 down.
Well, how about Rodriguez breaking up the changeup? I mean, he's thrown a few of them today, but that one was very effective. Caught a lot of the play, but down out of the zone. And this is that changeup that out of the hand. Okay, it's right over the plate. Looks like a fastball, but then you commit. You can see how far out in front Will Myers. Looks like a fastball. Comes as a changeup.
So, Doug, we have actually found something that rivals it now as part of our post-game tradition in Colorado outside Coors
really?
Field. Yes.
Marquee Pizza.
Yes. Tremendous. Highly recommended.
You pulled your hamstring getting out of the yard to try to get it?
See it. It's unbelievable. You keep your
It's so good.
hands and legs away from his mouth while he eats.
You guys go back there one more trip?
Yes, we do. So it fouled off to the left out of play.
I got to wear a hazmat suit around Orsillo when he's eating. He got stuff flying all over the place.
Cheese, mushrooms, and extra sausage.
Yeah.
It's so good, though.
2 balls and a strike to Eric Hosmer. You got to walk by it to get to the hotel. That's the thing. You know, if we didn't have to walk by it,
It's going to get you.
Yeah.
One way or the other, it's going to get you.
And pitch of the day coming up here for Rodriguez. Full count now. 5 strikeouts today for Rodriguez. He has walked 2. 3 hits and a run. In search of his 6th win, coming in at 5-1. He's had some full counts. This is the 6th on the day for the right-hander. Foul tip held onto by Nick Hundley. Back-to-back Ks for Rodriguez. 6 in all. 2-1 Giants. would strike first, bottom of the first inning. Eric Hosmer with 2 outs, doubles, and it scores Will Myers all the way from first base. Padres had a 1-0 advantage. Last night's hero, Gorkys Hernandez, who homered in the 12th last night, gets a sac fly this time to tie the game with an Andrew McCutchen opposite field home run out of the reach of Travis Jankowski to right field. It's a 2-1 Giants lead. To the 7th inning we go. And the pitcher, Derek Rodriguez, batting for himself, leading it off here in the 7th inning. So the sacrifice bunt today. And a little number hit in front of the plate. Retired 2-3 last time up. Jordan Lyles came into the game after Clayton Richard was pinch hit for in the 5th. And Lyles pitched the top of the 6th inning, 1-2-3 inning, strikeout, ground out, fly out. Lyles has made 8 starts this year for the Padres. Possibility, I guess, to make a start with Lauer going on the DL today, although with the day off, Clayton Richard could come back on regular rest for that finale in the series against the Cubs.
They have a lot of options, right? They've got a lot of arms that have been swing guys. Starter, reliever, reliever, starter.
Myers to Lyles for out number 1. 7th inning, should say Hosmer to Lyles for out number 1. So 1 down. We also have Walker Lockett, who was added to the roster today. He's been starting in El Paso.
I remember the first time we saw Lockett, the exhibition game we televised from El Paso this year.
1 down, 4 in a row retired by Lyles, and it brings up Andrew McCutchen. Difference in the game is solo home run to right field for McCutchen, his 11th home run of the year.
Good breaking ball by Jordan. Landing that, especially when you're in a hitter's count, it's so important for Jordan Lyles' success.
To short and Freddie Galvis throws out McCutchen. 2 down in the 7th inning.
MLB At Bat is your #1 app to watch live Padres baseball. Customize your experience to catch every moment this season. Get Padres home screen icons, features such as the MLB.TV Game of the Day, pitch tracking, in-game highlights, live radio broadcast stats, news, and more. Download MLB At Bat today.
2 outs here in the 7th inning for Chase Darno. Darno, a PCL All-Star mid-season this year, playing at AAA in the Giants organization after signing with them in January. And Darno called up. Contract purchased on July the 7th. So this year he's been with one organization from January on, and stops in the big leagues last year in Atlanta, Boston, and San Diego. He's well traveled last year. Signed by the Giants initially as a minor league free agent, non-roster invitee to spring training.
What's the most teams you've been with in a year, Mark? Just 2?
Just 2.
Trade? Yeah.
Well, that's difficult.
How about guys like Dave King in 4 teams in a year? There's been a few guys that have gone that route. That is unbelievable.
I think it's challenging with a family, as Chase Darno has had a baby last year, so it's a different way of thinking. But he also has interests off the field as well. When he was here, he's a really good singer.
Yeah, he's in a real band, unlike our fat friend here. Look at this. Yeah, so I'll have to throw him out, and they do.
What do you think of his band?
It stinks. Well, we head to the bottom of the 7th inning. 2-1 on top are the Giants, and got some stuff coming up, bud.
Yeah, Saturday, Mike Trout and the Angels battle Francisco Lindor, and the Indians. Coverage begins at 4 Pacific on FS1. We'll stream it live on the Fox Sports app.
Austin Hedges digging in here to lead it off in the bottom of the 7th inning. More Derek Rodriguez, and why not? Doing very good. He's retired the last 6 Padres in a row, and 12 of the last 13. Hedges 0 for 2. He slide out to center and grounded out to short.
How about 3rd time around for Rodriguez, and he's breaking out the curveball. We've seen more of the changeup. Pretty good idea how to locate the fastball, both for a strike and to expand the strike zone.
Fly ball to center field. Gorkys Hernandez for out number 1 of the 7th inning.
You know, guys, to put a bow on Cooperstown, obviously we watched the speech. I thought the speech was so good. And talking to Trevor Hoffman after, he said, you know, I wish I slowed down, but I love the intensity part of it. But why I talk about the speech, John Wooden, the coach for UCLA, had a lot to do in the influence of his speech. Those quotes that Trevor had are already in the clubhouse for Andy Green and the guys to look at, because I thought it had so many messages. He touched on the military. I absolutely loved that he thanked everyone, not only the former players, but the guys in the clubhouse. Tony Patrica, and you start thinking about all of those guys, and Spencer Dallin. Those are the impact guys that had a lot of influence on Trevor's life in baseball, and I loved his speech. I think all of us were just taken back with all of the messages that he had in there. And I also want to thank his sons too for sitting down, and because it was very impactful for them to be there. But Brody, Quinn, and Wyatt. It was fun times in Cooperstown.
Well, watching the speech, it was pretty cool to have his sons there, his family there, but then to have his brothers right behind them. Was watching their expressions as the speech was going on was pretty special too.
Yeah, Greg and Glenn, tears in their eyes, and why not? Very emotional.
I tell you what, we all know Trevor and Glenn being McCain, but I tell you what, if you ever get a chance to meet Greg, he is one special guy.
He sure is.
He is. I had a chance to meet him a handful of years ago, and he works with kids and works in special ed, I believe.
Yes, he does.
And you can see where he would thrive in that environment.
Gorkys Hernandez again, 2 down here in the 7th.
What an engaging personality, an intense personality, and a fun guy to be around.
I asked him, and it was at the first party that we were at. I said, Greg, do you have a second? He goes, do I have a second? I'd love to. He was so excited about it. But his message, and I think it's really impactful for Trevor and who he is as a person. And he asked him when he was a youngster about Trevor after Little League games. He said, how'd you do? And instead of saying winning, he said, I was 2 for 4. And he said, don't ever start with what you did. Talk about what the team did. And if you think of Trevor and you've been around him, you know it's all about everybody else first before the impact that he had. And Greg had a huge influence of that.
Now, have you been to the Hall of Fame before this?
I did. We did those exhibition games. Remember when you go in there and going into the Hall of Fame, it was so spectacular, and it has a lot to do with it. But I've never been into the hotel where all the Hall of Famers stay. And we touched on the haunted hotels, but the presence that all of those Hall of Famers have with that hotel, it is instant as soon as you go in there. And it really has a lot to do with the history of the game of baseball, which I think is great.
In a row retired by Derek Rodriguez with 2 down here in the bottom of the 7th inning. 3-1. Villanueva fouls it off to the right out of play.
Good friend of mine, Glenn Doche, decided to have another party on Sunday night. And I'll tell you the reason why I'm mentioning that. The party happened. Trevor had all his responsibilities cleared and came in and got to let loose. There were at least 10 or 12 Hall of Famers coming into that party. And that shows you the impact of what Trevor is all about too, and respect he has around the game. And it was just, you're in the party, you're just trying to celebrate. And I tell you what, Phil Nevin came from New York against the Royals. He drove up just for that party.
Ball 4 and down to first base goes Villanueva. Second time he's walked today. Third walk allowed by Rodriguez.
Bruce Bochy made the trip. There was a huge presence of former teammates, and why not? To honor the great Trevor Hoffman. He was very humbled.
I think the coolest part as a fan looking at that ceremony as a whole is always that the Hall of Famers are sitting behind the guys who are being inducted. I think that is so cool. You just take a look at who's who of Hall of Famers sitting back there. I mean, it makes you realize how awesome it is.
Yeah, Trevor said that presence behind you is a huge, a scary thought when you're presenting that speech.
I would think so. 109 pitches right now for Rodriguez. And a strike to Asuaje. Well, pitcher spot is due for the Padres, and right now Perella is on deck. But again, there are 2 outs in the 7th inning.
Did you guys get to catch some of the speeches other than Trevor's?
Yes.
What'd you think?
It was flawless. It was, you could tell, you know, they're reading from a script, but everything from his heart went on that paper. They put a lot of time into it. And like I mentioned when we gave our reactions, Don, how it was all about everybody else. And that's the Trevor we know and love.
Strikeout number 7 for Derek Rodriguez ends the 7th. 2-1 Giants.
That you not only possibly made a difference, but when you hear back from somebody said, you know what, I was at a low point, and Jeremy, you gave me words of encouragement and inspired me to turn things around.
It makes you realize that losing my sight, and in the moment I thought was the worst thing that ever happened to me, wasn't.
Well, I really hope you can join us for Inside San Diego Sports following a post-game show today immediately. Jeremy Poinsino, as you saw there, he is our guest. Lost his vision at the age of 19. He's now in his late 20s, and he is one of the world's best blind golfers. And he's going to join us on set, talk a little bit about all the trials and tribulations he has been through. So that's coming up after the final out. And guys, I know you're talking about Trevor Hoffman's speech, and that John Wooden quote, one of the ones that he used that stood out to me was that talented is God-given, be humble. Fame is man-given, be grateful. Conceit is self-given, be careful. And I thought that fit Trevor to a T.
Thanks very much, Mike. And indeed, I thought it did as well. Your thoughts, Swing?
Yeah, the John Wooden quotes just put it to another level, in my opinion. the awareness of what you have to have and the impact that so many people made on Trevor Hoffman. But I just thought it just had such a good point to it. And his wife Tracy had a lot to do with that speech. I think they both collaborated on how they were going to do it, because that has to be a challenging aspect.
Robert Stock takes over here, his 9th appearance, 3rd pitcher of the day for San Diego.
Well, before that base hit, Robert Stock retired 20 of the last 25 batters he's faced. Power slider, good fastball. He's touched 100. There's that slider there for a first pitch strike. And Mark, you saw him in New York, right? He had quite an outing against the Mets.
Yeah, I think against the Mets when he had that 3-inning outing, he punched out 5. But why I say that, you're accustomed to velocity, but that slider is so improved, and that's what you're seeing now.
Takes over for Jordan Lyles, who retired all 6 Giants that he faced, 2 by way of the K. And 3 ground ball outs. Was pretty good in 2 innings, quieting the Giants offense. You mentioned the velocity for Stock. It's been very impressive. That's the thing that kind of stands out about him. We saw a lot of him during spring training. There's 98, man. It's 1-2. Conley batting with a runner at first, nobody out here. Giants trying to obtain some insurance. In the 8th is Hundley on kind of an awkward swing. A 99-mile-an-hour fastball in on your thumbs.
Yeah, that's not a comfortable feeling. That'll speed you up a little bit if you're the hitter. Already seen that velocity, but the movement in on his hands.
Last 3 pitches, 97, 98, now 99.
I think he's set up for that slider. See if he goes to it.
Is in the dirt. Chasing it was Nick Hundley. Hundley today has lined out to left to Myers on 2 occasions. Running into a fielder's choice in the 5th inning. On the ground and through a vacated right side into right field. Longoria heading first to 3rd, and the Giants have something going here in the 8th. Runners at the corners and nobody out.
How do you deal with a fastball down and away approaching 100 miles an hour? Well, you just shorten up, hit down on it, and you try to hit that hole on the right side. I mean, Nick Hundley knows what's coming out of the hand of Stock. Tried to pull that. No chance.
First and 3rd, nobody out. And Austin Slater coming up.
Infield in, and for Slater, this is going to be aggressive early in the count. That's what the Giants have done with runners in scoring position.
And Slater walked in the 2nd, singled in the 4th, grounded out to short in the 5th. Well, that was against Clayton Richard. Infield in. Longoria at 3rd, Hundley at 1st, nobody out in the Giants' 8th inning. Slater fouls it off down the right field line, out of play. Now it's time for something to smile about, brought to you by Cricket Wireless. Freddie Galvis' defense has put a smile on your face. Been tremendous every game for the Padres this year, but today a lot of fun to watch. Working from the ground up.
Not only with the leather, but with the feet around the bag. Just his whole game. Freddie got game. Is that a good name for a band? Freddie got game? Yeah, that's the name of my new band. Freddie Got Game.
Oh, no.
Outside, ball 3. Ever stuck to something longer than like a day in your bed?
I have.
Got a couple weeks maybe to see how it goes. I know you've been sending out a lot of demo reels to agents and managers. And response has been overwhelmingly poor. Pitch in there for a strike.
I would like to see a double play here. That'd be a good name for a band. Double play, please. Help Robert Stock out a little bit with nobody out, runners at the corners. The ideal thing here is the punchy, right? You get one out, you can back up, play double play depth.
This will get away on ball 4, and no advancement for the runner at third. Longoria stays at third, but the walk here to Slater loads him up for the Giants with nobody out in the 8th.
Maybe that's why Longoria stayed. Nobody out, chance for a big inning. You don't want to take a chance of that carom coming back to the catcher and Stock covering and possibly being thrown out. Let's see where this ball bounces, how it bounces. Yeah, from his vantage point, he's thinking, you know what, nobody out. Let's load up the bases and take our chances that way.
Darren Balsley here with an apparent message. He did a lot of the talking there.
Yeah, spirited conversation too. Maybe getting that message in is you can pitch yourself out of this.
Well, I think in this situation for a pitcher, avoid thinking about the strikeout early. Make a good pitch, get a grounder. That's why your infield's in. If it comes back to you, you're playing catch with Austin. You go 1, 2, 3. Possible double play.
The slider's going to have to come into play because Crawford loves the fastball.
Take strike 1, and it is a changeup that time. Bases filled with Giants, nobody out in the inning. On the outside corner at 98. Thank you very much.
We got a call, and he needed it too. Gives him an opportunity to not only go back to that changeup, possibly even that slider. You have to trust Austin Hedges behind the plate.
Strike 3 call. Made quick work. Brandon Crawford needed that.
Well, that's a big strikeout. I think had a lot to do with that first pitch changeup. Ends him with that slider. Gave him 3 different looks and a big punch out for Robert Stock.
Bases loaded, 1 down, and Hunter Pence is going to be called back. It's going to be Joe Panik coming up here for the Giants. Panik had an interesting day yesterday. Came in as a pinch hitter last night in the 9th inning. Earlier in the day, he had 2 at-bats in Sacramento in a rehab game. Drove home to the East Bay, drove to Oakland to catch a flight to San Diego. Activated before the game. Had been on the DL, the groin strain. Arrived just 15 minutes before the game last night, and it turns out at-bats at AAA and in the majors same day. And he pinch hits here with 1 out and the bases loaded in the 8th inning today. Pinch hitting for Hunter Pence and grounding one to short. Galvis is coming home, and out at the plate is Evan Longoria. .62 on the putout at the plate, 2 down.
So many aspects to this play, and obviously Freddie Galvis had to go home. Priority is not to give the Giants an opportunity. Goes to his right, but on the move. And Austin Hedges selling out for that out. See the throw by Galvis. It tails into Longoria.
That's great concentration on Austin's part.
He becomes a first baseman there, but luckily he has the pads to be able to take on that contact. It's a big out for the Padres, and Robert Stock loves that play.
Just going to work on the gear there. Looks like he is good to go. Galvis coming homeward, and there are 2 outs in the inning. Bases reloaded now for the Giants. Yorkis Hernandez coming up. Hernandez has walked on a sac fly and fly down to center. Rifles it foul down the right field line out of play. A little bit late on the 99-mile-an-hour fastball. Meanwhile, Steven Duggar has come out on deck for the Giants. He would bat for Derek Rodriguez in the pitcher spot. Rodriguez has thrown 112 pitches through the first 7 innings. Fly ball right field. Jankowski moves over and under. And how about Robert Stock getting out of a bases loaded, nobody out jam unscathed. Presents Padres Baseball, brought to you by SeaWorld. Manta is today's word of the game. Head to foxsportssandiego.com and click Ways to Win for your chance to win a SeaWorld Family 4-pack. And by Kona Brewing Company. Enjoy a Big Wave Golden Ale or Longboard Lager today. It's been a tight one today with the Giants holding on to a 2-1 advantage as we head here to the bottom of the 8th inning. And changes for the Giants as Duggar takes over in center field now. Moving from center to left field is Yorkis Hernandez. And the new pitcher into the game is Reyes Moranto, who saw last night. Now will pitch here in the 8th inning today.
Pitch in the 6th. Went 2 total, only 1 hit, 2 strikeouts, trying to bridge that gap with the 1-run lead. His 51st game at really good numbers. Always working from the stretch.
Jose Perella pinch hitting and taking ball 1. Pinch hits here for Robert Stock. Out of a bases loaded, nobody out jam in the top half of this, the 8th inning. A pretty impressive outing today for the Giants starter. Derek Rodriguez going the first 7 innings, allowing 3 hits, just the 1 run. He walked 3, struck out 7, and threw 112 pitches. Good again.
He was really good. Had a good idea what was going on out there as far as making good quality pitches. Broke out the changeup later. The walks did not hurt him. And he's just continued to stay in that groove that he's been doing his rookie season as a Giant.
Leadoff walk here allowed by Maranta. Last thing he wanted to do in a one-run game in the last of the 8th inning. So lead runner on, and Travis Jankowski coming up here for the Padres. Travis today has grounded out to short, doubled, and lined out to right. Check swing. Did he go? Yes, he did, says Mike Estabrook, third base umpire. Ball 2, 2-1. So falling behind Jankowski now. Strike 2. Picks up the outside corner. 2-2.
Back toward the slider right there. Got the good fastball, the power slider. Great location on that one to even it up at 2-2.
2 with a 1.69 earned run average, 10th lowest in the National League. Grounder through the right side into right field, a base hit. Perella headed for third. He will get there. First and third, nobody out for the Padres here in the 8th inning. Second hit of the day for Travis Jankowski.
Well, Travis knows that he's got a battle. He just saw the backdoor slider. He knows he's got the good fastball, and he gets another breaking ball here. This one looked like he wanted to go backdoor, but catches too much of the plate and hitting that hole on the right side. I'm thinking if Slater was a little bit more aggressive on that one to his right and maybe dive, he might have had a chance to get to that one. We got action at the corners.
First and third, nobody out, and Manuel Margot the batter. 0-for-3 today for the Padres center fielder. And a 10-game hitting streak coming to an end here last night. Yes, Maranta coming in here for the Giants in the 8th inning. That opponent scoreless in 14 of his last 15 outings. Up just 1 earned run in his last 12 1/3 innings. Tying run 90 feet away, nobody out here in the 8th. And gone on a pitch in the dirt. They checked. No, he did not, says Bruce Dreckman.
Oh, he definitely went, I thought. What do you think, Don?
Pretty close.
Yeah.
Two and one now to Margot. First and third, nobody out. On the ground to shortstop. Crawford will go to second for one, on to first for two. But in the back door from third comes Perella, and the Padres have tied it up. Second game in a row, the Padres have tied the score in the 8th inning.
Well, the Padres tie it up. No RBI for Margot as the Giants turn the twin killing. Manuel was hustling down that line. Hold all tickets. And it looks like there's going to be a challenge at first base. Well, I got safe.
Yep. So it should be overturned, calling the field out. Margot would pick up an RBI in this instance.
Yep. Good hustle by Manuel.
Crowd seeing it here on the big board.
This one shouldn't take too long, should it?
Wouldn't think so. Call the field was out. Back end of a double play. Safe at first base. So call overturned. Margot back to first. Inches on the fielder's choice. Picks up an RBI. So one out in the inning now. You got Myers coming up. Padres have tied it up 2-2 here in the 8th inning. Throw to first, low, but dug out over there by Slater. With a big cut of the 97-mile-an-hour fastball. So a run allowed here by Reyes Maranta. It's the second time in his last 16 outings.
I'll tell you, I'll be honest with you. This is where the Padres need a homer. 2-run shot.
Popped up foul off to the right out of play. Myers down on the count. 0-2. Myers now, Hosmer next. Leadoff walk coming back to bite Maranta. Never a good thing. Well, got the walk to begin the inning, came around to score the second run to tie this game. Two and two. Bochy going to the pen here in the 8th inning. After a starter on 112 pitches.
That was a good hack right there. 2-2 fastball. Middle in. Just working underneath it a little bit.
Myers fouls it off again. And the battle continues. Seventh pitch coming up here for Will Myers. 2-2 from Moranta. First a throw to first, and back again is Margot. Does not try to steal. Now he does. Takes off. Myers swings and misses. Throw is going to be late on a double pump by Nick Hundley. So Myers strikes out for the second out of the inning, but now Margot in scoring position with 2 away.
Looks like Moranta went back to that slider. Perfectly placed down off the plate, but a good jump by Manuel, staying on that bag.
Hosmer's not going to get the chance to bat. They will intentionally put him on the no throw kind. Intentional walk here. Take the bat out of his hands with first base open. And take their chances with Austin Hedges.
And this is a situation where you got to try to make it hurt.
Two outs and runners in scoring position. Padres second in that category as a team, hitting at .266. Tied with the Red Sox, only the Minnesota Twins with a higher batting average. Strike one. Hedges grounds it foul. Moranta jumps ahead here 0-2. Hedges today 0 for 3. He's flied out twice and grounded out. Ball one. Two runs, 7 hits, no errors for the Giants. 2 runs, 4 hits, no errors for the Padres. Popped up foul, backing out of play. Down the line, but foul. Hedges out ahead of that. It remains 1-2. That's thrown 25 innings, 25 pitches in this inning. Cue shot foul right off the end of the bat.
Yeah, literally. Slider down, and Austin literally cues that ball off the end of the bat. He's adjusting his elbow guard again. Did that last night too, right? Had some trouble with that elbow guard.
Fly ball, left field, as Hernandez makes his way in and makes the catch that ends the 8th inning. Padres tie the game 2-2 to the 9th we go. And you look at the bullpen that gave the Padres a chance to come back in this game. As Jordan Lyles, 2 shutout innings, striking out 2, retiring all 6 that he faced. And Robert Stock getting out of a bases loaded, nobody out jam, unscathed in the 8th to give the Padres a chance to tie it up in the bottom half of the inning.
Good quality pitches by Jordan Lyles. That's a great sign. But Robert Stock, it's easy, to go out there and I shouldn't say easy. I guess the term I'm looking for is you go out there and you expect trouble and then, getting out of it. Well, after that visit from Darren Balsley, you remember that? That's when he turned it on, and that's when he made a big difference. After those 2 singles, the walk, Robert Stock really coming through. Now, after Lyles and Stock, enter Kirby Yates. And yes, he's still in a Padre uniform. The deadline has come and gone. And it's good to have Kirby still out there coming out of the bullpen. Save is out the window with the tie score into the 9th. Padres hoping to hold them here and win it walk-off style in the bottom half of the 9th.
Steven Duggar batting for the first time, part of the double switch, took over in center field. And here he is to lead it off in the 9th inning, hitting at .258, no homers, 6 runs batted in his 17th game with the Giants. Giants after the game headed to Arizona, ready for a series against the Diamondbacks. Padres headed to Chicago in a 4-game series against the Cubs. The high strike call, 1-1. Trade deadline has come and gone. Of course, you got the waiver deals that are still possible. Player has to get through waivers in order to go to another team now. As part of a deal. A little trickier. Two and two. Fastball at 94. Two balls, 2 strikes. Nobody out here in the 9th inning in a tie game. Bouncing in for ball 3. Check swing. Did he go? No. And a leadoff walk to begin things here for Steven Duggar. Let's revisit our keys to the game, brought to you by your San Diego Honda dealers.
Avoid the big inning. Giants 1 run scored in the 4th and 5th innings. I'll take that and take an early lead. What do you know? The Padres took a 1-0 lead in the 1st on Eric Hosmer's RBI double.
Duggar at first base, held on over there by Hosmer. Top of the order for the Giants, Andrew McCutchen. Swing and a miss after that 93-mile-an-hour fastball right down the middle. Not a shift, but Suaje way over towards second base. The second baseman entirely on the left side of the infield.
There he is right there.
Rolls it over foul and finds himself down 0-2. Now McCutchen with the Giants on top 2-1 with a solo shot opposite field in the 5th inning. His 11th home run in a Giants uniform. And at the time gave San Francisco the 2-1 lead that would hold up until the last of the 8th inning. The Padres tied it up 2-2. The first, and back again is Duggar. Another check, and again Duggar's got to dive back. McCutchen now, d'Arnaud next as the Giants bat here in the top of the 9th in a 2-2 game. After the Giants won here last night 5-3 in 12 innings.
Kirby throwing a little chum out there down and away, but McCutchen's not biting right there.
Two and two.
Kind of slowed it down a little bit too, huh?
Yes, he has, especially with the lead runner getting on. Runner goes, swung on, fly ball to right field. Incoming and over is Jankowski to make the catch. And Duggar back to the bag at first, one down in the 9th inning. So Yates able to get McCutchen, and that'll bring up Chase d'Arnaud. Double-barreled action in the pen. Will Smith, Tony Watson, both up for the Giants. Will Smith who get the victory in last night's game for San Francisco. Ball one, snap throw to first, and Duggar is back safely.
Well, the advantage for Austin Hedges there, you got the front door open with the right-handed hitter, a clear shot. Quick feet, snap throw. It's on the right side, just high, and he gets back safely.
Runner goes, pitches a strike, throw down on a one-hopper is in time. Duggar thrown out at second base for out number 2. Was picked there by Carlos Asuaje on the throw from Hedges. Caught stealing, 2 down.
It's a pretty good jump and a really good release. Did you see how close that was to Kirby? That looked like it was it was right by his melon. And the catch, and just gets him on the pant leg there. Perfect.
So 2 down, bases empty. A count of 1-1 now to d'Arnaud. Foul back, 1-2. Fastball at 94. swing and a miss, and Darno strikes out to end the top of the 9th inning. To the bottom of the 9th we go, tied at 2. Kirby Yates getting through the top of the 9th inning and preserving this 2-2 game to the bottom of the 9th inning. The Giants will bring on their 3rd pitcher of the game as Tony Watson comes in for the 9th.
Tony Watson was the 4th reliever used last night. He came in the 10th inning, a third of an inning. Bagels all the way across for this veteran left-hander. His 51st game. And really good numbers. A strikeout per inning. And for the Padres, Hedges, Galvis, Villanueva. Sounds like a run to me.
As it turns out, Derek Rodriguez, who pitched so well here today, the starter for the Giants, gets a no decision. Next to the run scored by the Padres in the bottom of the 8th inning that's tied the score 2-2. Freddie Galvis going to lead it off here against Tony Watson in the bottom of the 9th inning. Galvis today has walked, grounded out to first, and flied out to center. Fouled off to the right, out of play. 7 innings from Derek Rodriguez, the starter today for San Francisco. Gave up 1 run, struck out 7. 112 pitches. Reyes Moranta giving up the game tying run in the 8th inning. Ball 2 to Galvis. In the air to left field. Hernandez going back towards the track. He'll have room, and he makes the catch shy of it. Galvis out number 1 of the 9th inning.
The low 3/4 arm angle gets in on Freddie Galvis. You know, he has that arm angle to where a hitter can really see it well. Throws across his body though, and he gets that angle. That angle from the left side into the righty is very, very good pitch for Watson. There it is again.
One down here in the 9th inning. Christian Villanueva has bounced into a double play and walked twice in the game. Inning with 1 out in the bottom of the 9th inning. Foul backing out of play, 1 and 2.
Well, Christian has 13 home runs versus lefties, second most in the majors, behind the Rockies' Nolan Arenado. He has 14. 19 total for the rookie third baseman.
Swing and a miss, goes around on a pitch that was up, 93-mile-an-hour fastball. And another strikeout number 1 for Tony Watson since coming in. 2 down in the 9th inning.
Once again going inside with that angle and up a little bit. Tough to lay off.
Two down for Carlos Suaje. Suaje 0 for 3. He's grounded out to short, grounded out to second, and struck out swinging. Suaje in a stretch right now where he is 0 for his last 25. Down 1 and 2. Renfroe has come out on deck for the Padres to bat in the pitcher spot. There are 2 outs in the inning. Softly hit. Watson's got it, flips underhanded and in time to get a Suaje. Bonus baseball from Petco, tied at 2. Padres would strike first. Eric Hosmer with a double in the first inning. The score, Will Myers from first base, and a sac fly for Gorkys Hernandez. McCutchen opposite field home run gives the Giants a 2-1 advantage. And Margot grounds into it. Turns out to be a fielder's choice. Initially was called out on the back end of the double play, but scored Corella, tie the game 2-2 in the last of the 8th inning. It's now to the 10th. Tied 2-2, and it's Phil Maton into the game. 27th appearance, 3.25 earned run average. And a first pitch to Evan Longoria that's down and away. Longoria 1 for 4 today, single to left field in the 8th inning.
Bonus baseball again, Donnie.
Back-to-back days. Last night, 12 innings.
Day game.
Who knows how long today?
Beautiful day at the yard. Gotta love it.
Down the right field line. That ball will fall off the base of the wall. The ricochet is nasty and by Jankowski. So Longoria heads for third and is standing with a triple. Well, it hit off that wall down the right field line on the Petco porch and jumped by Jankowski, and Longoria takes third.
As an outfielder, okay, you commit to the corner because the ball's hit that way, but you don't know where it's going to hit. So Travis is on it, hits the dog. Now Travis has got to run like a dog and play fetch to get to it. Ouch.
Now the infield is in as Hundley bats with a runner at third. Ball one. Mike Hundley, the former Padre catcher, 1 for 4 today. Single to right field in the 8th inning. Remember, the Giants had the bases loaded, nobody out in the 8th and could not score. Robert Stock got out of that jam. Very defensive swing here from Hundley. And a pitch up and in. Richards started this game for the Padres, 5 innings, giving up 2 runs. Lyles 2 shutout innings, Stock a shutout inning, Yates a shutout inning. Now Maton in a jam. Hundley pops it up foul, backing out of play, and it's 2-2. Leadoff triple by Evan Longoria in the 10th inning. On the ground, foul outside of third. So Hundley stays alive here. And the cutter from Maton. 2-2.
Phil trying to work down, utilizing that infield being in. Hundley trying to get something up in the zone to elevate it to the outfield at least, to drive in that run. That's why the slider works. Working down to the zone, hoping to top it right at one of the infielders.
Foul back, will do it again. 2-2. Center fielder Manuel Margot over towards right center, somewhat of a gap in left center. And Nick Hundley batting from the right side. Moves the alley. Two to Hundley. Swing and a miss, and Maton strikes him out. Big strikeout there for the first out of the inning. Needed that.
And he went to that slider. If he makes contact, it's probably a weak grounder to the left side. Goes down and away, and Hundley way out in front of it.
Now the infield in here, 1 down. Longoria at third, and Austin Slater the batter. Giants first baseman has walked, single, grounded out, and walked again. Been aboard 3 times today. Strike 1 on the foul tip. Montana's limited opponents to a .219 average with runners in scoring position. Fly ball right field. In comes Jankowski to be shallow right. Longoria tags and stops. 2 down. Then he has to scramble to get back to the bag. That was just too shallow for Longoria to try it. And there are 2 outs in the 10th inning.
I actually thought that Hosmer had a chance maybe to throw him out at third base as he was scampering back, but think Hosmer doesn't want to throw the ball away. Probably would have been a perfect throw because this is shallow. Travis catches, hits the cutoff man, and then plus air. See how far he's off the bag there? He would have had to spin, and it would have probably had to been a good throw. Perfect throw to get him. Don't want to take that chance of possibly throwing that ball away.
So Longoria gets back to the faceplant there on his return dive. Brandon Crawford lines one to right in for a base hit. And here comes Longoria from third to put the Giants on top in the 10th inning. Brandon Crawford, RBI single to right, and the Giants have taken the lead.
And Crawford's not wasting any time. He gets the fastball, he gets the hands in nicely, barrels that one up to hit it on the line, and the one hopper and the go-ahead run.
So they take a 3-2 lead, 2 down. Crawford at first, and going to get a pinch hitter coming up here. Alan Hansen coming up. First appearance of the series. He made a start at second base last time the Padres saw the Giants in San Francisco. Coming off the bench during his 64th game of the year. And grounds it foul towards the Padres dugout, first base way. Will Smith, the closer, got the win last night, is ready in the pen. Bottom of the 10th, pinch hitter Jankowski, Margot. Anticipate anybody gets on Will Myers will have a chance. Right now is a 1-run deficit for the Padres. Hansen batting with 2 outs and Crawford at first base. Liner towards right center field. Crawford will head for third. Throw goes that way, and it will be not in time. First and third with 2 down now for the Giants on a single. Pinch hit at that for Hansen. And Brandon Crawford comes up lame at third base. Not sure if the throw hit him or if something's up with his leg on the run from first to third. Or the slide maybe too.
Yeah. Well, this is a breaking ball. Anyway, Hansen does a nice job of getting his hands in. The switch hitting Giant. Strong throw from Manuel. Got front foot maybe.
He's been trying to walk it off ever since down there at third base. So first and third now as the Giants look to obtain some insurance here in the 10th inning. They have pushed across the go-ahead run, now looking for more. Ortiz Hernandez will take ball 1. Maton gave up the leadoff triple to Evan Longoria. Comes around to score the go-ahead run. Hernandez with a big cut of the 91-mile-an-hour fastball. If the Padres are unable to come back in this game, they would fall to 5-20 in the month of July.
Boy, dang.
Pitch of the inning coming up for Phil Maton, who is now on the hook. 3-1. Sixth batter that he has faced here in the top half of the 10th inning. Tried to hold up.
Yes, he did. Oh.
And he did. Wow. Thought for sure he went around.
I thought he went around as well.
So load the bases.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Holy smokes.
So Hernandez aboard at first base to load the bases. And that'll bring up Steven Duggar. Second plate appearance since the double switch. He walked in the 9th inning, was caught trying to steal. A chance to add on here for the Giants. Take strike one. Oh, 0-2. Into the breaking ball that time.
That's trusting your curveball with that runner on third base and trusting in your catcher. Part of the arsenal. You have to utilize it, and Phil Maton does just that on that last pitch.
Bases filled with Giants. 2 down here in the 10th inning. And just pulled ahead at 3-2. Duggar down the left field line. Myers runs into the shadows to make the catch down the left field line that ends the top of the 10th inning. Giants have taken a 3-2 lead. Go ahead run on top now, 3-2 as we play on to the bottom of the 10th inning. And as you might expect, into the game is Will Smith, the winner last night, closer for the Giants. Last night Will Smith coming in, and he was very impressive.
Very, very impressive. The left-hander's got that biting slider that he'll just put away left-handers. He'll throw the fastball up and away and locate it many ways against the righties. Will Smith coming into this game with a 1.35 ERA. Opponents only hitting 172. And as Don mentioned, because of the situation last night, he was the winning pitcher. Last night's extra frame affair. Enters his 35th game, and the numbers say it all. More strikeouts than innings pitched and a quality strike thrower. Only 7 free passes in 33 1/3 innings of work.
The pitch hitter in A.J. Ellis is going to lead it off here for the Padres in the 10th inning. Tony Watson, the pitcher of record right now for the Giants, at a 1-2-3 9th inning. Ellis will take strike one. Down and in, 2-1. .35 ERA for Smith, fifth lowest in Major League Baseball, second lowest in National League. That's strike two.
And as I mentioned earlier, he doesn't walk a lot of batters, only 7 in 33 plus innings, so you're going to get a pitch to hit. The thing is, he throws such quality pitches, it's tough to square him up. Doesn't make a lot of mistakes within the strike zone.
He's second in earned run average in the National League, only behind Milwaukee's Josh Hader, who has a 1.34 earned run average. Will Smith 1.35. 47 Ks and 33 in the third inning. That's a number that really jumps out. 2-2 to Ellis. In the air, down the left field line, and it is headed foul. Just out ahead.
Slider speeds up the bat of AJ, and that's one of the few mistakes that Smith will make, and a nice grab by that fan.
Strikes out Ellis looking, one down in the 10th inning. The pinch hitter will be coming up. We look at the third strike call, and we got a call there.
Yes, he did. Went with the fastball away, and AJ gets the bat taken right out of his hands.
One down here in the 10th inning. Hunter Renfroe going to pinch hit here for Travis Jankowski. .232, 8 home runs, 27 runs batted in for Renfroe. Little pop up. Slater from first, 2 down. Let's time now for our Carl's Jr. stars of the game, and Evan Longoria with a triple that opens up the 10th inning. All the way around to third when Brandon Crawford, RBI single with 2 outs, scores Longoria and gives the Giants a 3-2 lead in the top of the 10th inning. Well, in the midst here of the bottom of the 10th with 2 down, Manuel Margot the batter. And 0 for 4 day to day for Margot, who will take ball 1. Left side and through into left field. A base hit for Margot to keep it going here in the 10th inning. First hit of the day for Manuel, and he is on with 2 outs in the 10th. Gives Will Myers a chance.
Great concentration right here for Manuel Margot. Down to the last out. Never give away in that bat. Just avoid the strikeout. Put the ball in play. Take your chances.
Myers today a single back in the first inning. Since then has struck out 3 times. Back to the mound. Will Smith's got it. He'll run a bit. In fact, he'll run all the way. He'll tag the bag at first, and the ball game is over. So the Giants come in and in 2 extra inning ball games sweep the Padres in a 2-game series. Last night in 12 innings, today in 10 innings. The final again, the Giants 3, the Padres 2. Padres Live is next. Mike Pomerantz, what's in store?
We have the best blind golfer in the world joining us live on the set, Jeremy Poinceneau, who spent his college days at SDSU. He's our special guest, and we'll have Andy Green for you in just a couple of moments on Padres Live.